I said good day, sir.
You don't ever plan anything around the Eagles because the Eagles represent the grace of God, you heathen bastards.
What a vanilla nebbish name.
Well, orcs are people too.
I'm thinking of that one cult that got taken out with one punch. So he's got a wall, a gall, and a wall. Every time you mention the Eagles, I think Don Henley. This is a Geek History of Time,
where we connect nerdery to the real world. I'm Ed Blaylock. I'm a 7th grade world history teacher with a side of English here in Northern California, and the father of I got to do the math in my head, a 21-month-old now. And how about you?
I'm Damian Harmony. I'm a Latin teacher with a side of world history up here in Northern California. I am the father of children who are more than 2 years old, so I don't have to count months anymore. My son
I cannot wait.
You're almost there. My
Getting there.
son is 9 and some change, going to be 10 this year, and my daughter is 7.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's a good time.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading the National Wrestling Alliance, which is it's a book that I used as a source for one of the previous episodes, but it just was.
I think you mean several of the previous episodes. A whole chain of previous episodes.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
But I found out that same author, Tim Hornbacker, has written a number of books, which are all going to be on my Amazon wish list for my birthday.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. How about you?
I am recommending. I'm not reading it at the moment because we're in the middle of a grading period, and I have no time to read anything other than student work right now. God help me. But I want to recommend A History of War in 100 Battles by Richard Overy.
Oh, he does good work.
Yeah. It's a really good. I kind of want to call it a digest history, but I feel like that's kind of praising it too faintly.
Okay.
Essentially, he takes there's 100 battles out of world history,
Right.
where he finds something in each one of them that makes it particularly significant to either warfare and on a large scale, or it is a battle that is somehow emblematic of some kind of a huge change.
So essentially, linchpins and emblems.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I like it.
So it's a very good read, very fast read, but I thoroughly enjoyed it and I highly recommend it.
I imagine it's fairly episodic, given there's 100 battles, so you get a 3-page digest, like you said.
It's somewhere between 3 and 5, depending on the battle. Sekigahara gets about 3. There's a couple of others that get a little bit more treatment.
Sure. Like Midway would probably get more just because it's so sprawling.
Yeah. Cool. So that's my recommendation for this week. Even though right now, as I said, I'm in grading hell.
But it's a nice little eye break. Just read one little.
Yeah, it could be.
Battle.
You can go away for a couple of minutes.
That's the nice thing about the what I'm reading is the chapters are they're modular. I mean, it is a history, but at the same time, if you want to learn about the bosses in the Missouri Territory, you can skip ahead to that. And there's 18, 20 chapters, something like that.
Nice.
So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, hey, have you ever heard of Screwball?
Yes. I mean, are you talking about the pitch or are you talking about the genre?
Both.
Yes.
So do you know what a screwball pitch is?
I'm guessing it is a relative of a knuckleball or
no. A knuckleball is going to float in there.
Okay.
And so the thing that a knuckleball does is it doesn't. You throw it like with your knuckles and you're kind of pushing it, right?
So there's no top spin, way
right.
slow and very erratic.
So yeah, it'll float. Essentially, in volleyball, when you hit the ball dead on, it floats and it shifts because the air currents.
Yeah.
A curveball would be actually the screwball's better trained cousin.
Okay.
So a screwball is a ball that goes against a natural curve.
Okay.
So if I'm a left-handed pitcher and I throw, it's going to curve in, going from my left to my right as it goes across the plate.
Okay.
This one will curve back out to the left still.
Okay.
And it's very hard to hit them. And it involved torquing your arm Tweaking your arm? Twerking with your arm. Yeah.
Twisting. To
the point where there were some pitchers, you could tell that they were screwball specialists because after their career was over, their arm was permanently lodged outward.
Really?
Yeah, because you were
because the way they were doing that to the joints. Really?
Because I mean, baseball pitching is terrible for the shoulder. That's just
it's
awful.
Destructive. Yeah.
So doing that and then having to come back against the curve
before release,
you are straining and curve. Yeah. Painful.
Yeah, even thinking about that with the kind of force that you got to put behind a major league pitch. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
So
they were all arthritic.
Yes.
Is what we're saying.
All these movies.
More arthritic.
Yeah. And this movie genre is essentially about arthritis.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
So it's...
that got grim.
Yeah. A lot of Jessica Tandy movies.
Okay. There you go. Well done.
Yes.
All right. But the genre...
Yeah, there's a genre. It's called Screwball Comedy. And it was very popular for a very brief time, shortly after Talkies came out, and then it utterly disappeared until Steve Martin and Queen Latifah kind of picked it up. He tried with Goldie Hawn, but he actually got commercial success with Queen Latifah for like 2 movies. And then it went away again for similar reasons. So this episode is titled World War II Screwed Up Comedy by Unscrewing Comedy.
All right.
So we'll start in 1934. Actually, to start in 1934, we'll go back a little bit. Prior to 1934, movies had just started talking.
Yes. It was the death of a number of careers.
Yes, absolutely. And the birth of a number of careers, however.
Yeah, this is true.
So in 1934, because you can now have talking, you have people writing dialogue. So the loss of careers is far outstripped by the amount of people who actually could make livings now.
Yeah.
A guy named Frank Capra.
Yes.
The one who made the World War II propaganda films.
Yeah.
He directed a movie called...
It's a Wonderful Life? Was that Capra?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, okay.
But he directed It Happened One Night.
Okay.
And this is 34, starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert.
Oh, man.
Clark
Gable.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. Thinking about that. Yes. Okay.
And Claudette Colbert, which is an important thing to note, too, because she was in one of the first Possession movies that we discussed a while back.
Right. I knew I'd heard that name before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by many measures, a lot of people consider this to be the first of the genre.
Okay.
And very often when you have a prototypical thing, it has the elements that are put together loosely, or the elements that are put together but out of sequence,
or they haven't quite completely gelled.
Right.
This is the reason on TV tropes. I keep telling you,
you
know, this will make your life so much simpler if you go take a look at it. But it'll also ruin your life. But you know, you talk about the trope originator, and then you talk about the trope codifier.
Yes.
The very first thing of something is where, okay, this is the very first time we see this being done.
Right.
Then the codifier is, this is the one everybody thinks of.
Right.
Because this is when all of the cylinders were clicking, this is when it all fits together, and this is what defined it going forward. Yeah.
Like
so this would be the originator.
Yeah.
This is the example.
This is the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Movie.
Yeah.
And later on, you'll have the Avengers.
Okay.
You know, of this. Or this is Edison's light bulb.
Yeah.
And then when you get about 4 years on, you get Westinghouse creating a power plant that actually makes money.
That'll actually be profitable.
Right. Yeah. So some people are going to argue that it's not the first of its kind, and they've got some merit to those arguments. There's a movie called Bombshell that came out a year earlier.
Okay, so that's 33.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had a lot of the same elements that make Screwball Comedy a Screwball Comedy.
Okay.
By 1934, and I'll get into what
those elements
Screwball
are.
is, yeah.
All right.
But by 1934, the Hays Code is in full effect.
Yes.
If you got talking, you've got censorship.
Yeah.
And remember, the Hays Code was a self-imposed thing to keep the government off their back. This should sound familiar to anybody who remembers the Comic Code Authority.
Comic Code Authority and our first episode.
Yeah.
And talking about the first episode of this, or last episode of last season, first episode of this season, talking about the Jedi being countercultural.
Yes.
You know, the fact that, the Hays Code had fallen apart by the 70s, we mentioned.
Right.
Right.
So this is a code that shows up a lot. If there are certain through lines,
this is going to be one of them.
One of them is authorial intent doesn't exist.
Yes, that's the most common one.
Yeah, or it exists despite the author.
Yeah. No, it exists, but the reader, viewer, whatever the audience, gets to nullify it.
Yeah,
basically at will.
Yeah, audience fiat.
Yeah, audience fiat. I think we've coined a term for us to use there.
Well, we are marketing that from now on.
There we go. Yeah. When we talk about Heinlein, that'll have to come up a lot.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're getting off the subject.
So romance movies couldn't do much that was entertaining. As a result.
Yeah, well, you can't get naked. There's not a whole lot. Well, they can't do very much that's entertaining to most cishet male viewers, which is most of what everybody was thinking of.
What they were aiming at.
When they were aiming at, because that's who had the money and the free time and everything to watch movies at that time. So if you want to do a romance... How do you do that without having an actress get her kid off?
You don't have any heavy petting. You don't have any foreplay. You don't have any sex. They have instead quick, witty banter back and forth and dialogue. So the sex is now coded into the language. Verbally, it's very sexy.
Oh, okay.
And it's a give and take, and it's a back and forth, and it's
interplay and all that kind of stuff, like a really good first date.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So they coded the sex into the language in this very quick pitter-patter that got past the censors, because the censors are looking for flesh.
They're looking for visual. Yeah. They're looking for what do you see,
right,
as opposed to what are you hearing.
Right.
Now, interestingly, Shakespeare didn't have to deal with censors.
True.
But this immediately makes me think of The Taming of the Shrew. Mm-hmm. And Petruchio and Kate in their first. I mean, that's got to be
their foreplay.
That's the example of that kind of dialogue.
Yes.
You know what? With my tongue in your tail, come, Kate.
Yes.
Come.
Yes.
And of course he was, and everybody in the upper seats is laughing because ha ha ha, there's a pun. Everybody in the lower seats is like, you said come.
Yeah.
Hitting every socioeconomic level in the audience at once, and mostly playing to the groundlings.
Absolutely.
So, okay. So, all right. So I can. This makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right.
And the thing is that a thing is starting to be known, and it was something Shakespeare knew too. Anticipation of a thing keeps an audience way more interested than the payoff of the thing.
Okay.
It's not like internet porn. Right, so it's you don't just fast forward to. It's not like
click to the good parts.
It's not like a kung fu movie where you just fast forward to the action.
Where's the fight? Where's the fight? Come on.
It's about that build up and the tension that's carried in that build up, and that got past the censors because they were old. And
I love how you put that so bluntly, because they were old.
They were.
And dried up. And the juices of life had left them long before the time they were watching the film.
And Kate never came, yes.
Yeah. Or she had. Years before.
Yeah.
And
was ashamed of it immediately.
And it was all spent at that point. Yeah. Okay.
So the Hays Code was ridiculously strict in what they deemed improper. And it had a disproportionate impact on romantic movies.
Yeah, so, okay.
Especially comedy.
Okay, well, yeah. So here's talking about the Hays Code being disproportionately strict.
Oh, and I've got examples.
Okay, this just occurred to me, though. Do you think because this was a self-imposed system, that over strictness was no, we don't want to give the government any excuse, nothing. Okay.
Absolutely, because that's what happened with the CCA. I mean, we see this with self-regulatory bodies. Self-censorship is the worst censorship.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the worst conceptually, it's the worst ethically, and it's the worst in terms of like how much shit it takes up.
Yeah, okay.
So now the Hays Code starts in 1930.
Yes.
But it really gets going right at the time that Screwball really hits the ground running by 34. Okay, so 34 happens and Screwballs come to the fore at the same time. Here's some of the more ridiculous parts.
Okay.
A woman involved in a romantic scene had to have at least one of her feet on the floor. This is why you have that trope of a woman's leg going up when she kisses.
Okay.
No nudity, in fact, or in silhouette.
Wow.
No white slavery.
Wow.
Remember there's the Mann Act?
Oh, right.
White people were scared to death of being sold into slavery, which is weird. No mixed coupling.
Oh, okay.
You even had a movie called Showboat? Steamboat. Showboat.
Showboat.
It was
I think
Showboat.
Showboat.
And they kind of talked about that a little bit. And, they essentially, he was in love with a black woman or a woman who had African-American heritage. I believe she was 1/8. An octoroon was the term.
Yeah.
And so he had her prick her finger and he put it in his mouth. And then he could say that I have a drop of black blood in me, so this is not miscegenation.
Wow.
That was a plot point for that movie. Now, that was a little while later.
But still.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
No ridicule of the clergy.
Okay.
Be careful. Don't have too much lustful kissing.
Okay.
Don't have surgical operations.
What? Okay.
Don't have sympathy toward criminals.
Okay.
Now, think about Charlie Chaplin in modern times.
Yeah.
He goes to jail.
He does.
No arson.
What? Okay, that's
1934.
Oddly specific.
But in the 20s, there was the Red Scare. Okay. There was the fear of anarchism. Prior
bomb
to that,
throwing.
Exactly.
Molotov cocktails.
Unions. Haymarket Affair. The police going on rampages against workers.
Yeah.
And in 34, the Wagner Act gets passed and it legitimizes unions, but
all of the
got to make sure,
fear-mongering. Okay.
And I literally have a note here saying this should sound familiar to the CCA. Because it does.
Because it's the same stuff, different medium.
So essentially what you have is uptightness being allowed on the big screen. And in many ways, Screwball Comedy is responding to that uptightness. And they're ridiculing it by playing at all the things they were forbidden to do. It's kind of like what South Park did in 98, where it's like, you mean I can't say shit? No. I can't say fuck? No. I can't, and he just goes on, saying all the things he can't say.
Yeah.
So they had to do it.
You can't say pig fucker in front of Jesus? Sorry.
It's fine. You're the Catholic. You can do that.
Yeah, well.
But, so you have...
No, I can't. I can go to confession. Anyway.
You can do it and clean your soul.
There you go. Okay.
I just scrubbed my feet. Speaking of Jesus. That's why you draw the fish. Yeah, it's a fillet of soul.
Yeah, oh, God. Well played.
Thank you.
Well played. Nicely done. All right. So
they ridicule it by playing at all these things, but they got to do it in a much more creative way because you can't be that explicit.
They have to, at the very least, you got to be backhanded.
Right.
And if you can find a way to be... make it
backhand,
make
the
it
forehand, reach around.
Make it a triple entendre, then you're even better off. Yeah.
So here are some pairings that are pretty iconic that absolutely pull on this genre. So I want you to tell me, after I tell you all these pairings, what's really going on. What makes a screwball just based on these pairings. Okay. Did you ever see Stranger Than Fiction?
No.
Oh, Will Ferrell and Maggie Gyllenhaal. They're in Stranger Than Fiction. Okay. Did you ever see Friends?
Oh, yeah.
Ross and Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever see House Sitter?
Yes, but
Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever see Married with Children?
Oh, yeah.
Ed O'Neill and Katie Sagal.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Bringing Down the House?
Who is
Steve Martin and Queen Latifah.
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you ever see Moonlighting?
Yes.
This is an inversion of it, but Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
Okay.
Did you ever see Mork and Mindy?
Oh, yeah.
This is also an inversion
of it.
Yeah, Robin Williams and Pam Dauber.
Okay.
Overboard?
Never saw the whole movie, but yeah.
Also an inversion, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn, yeah.
And then my favorite, Bringing Up Baby.
Seen parts of it, haven't seen the whole movie.
Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn. This would be the Avengers of Screwball Comedy, I think.
Okay.
It was a box office flop, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Because people weren't used to seeing Katharine Hepburn being...
I don't know why. I think there were other movies that came out at the same time, and
that just sucked the air out of the box office.
Could have been. It was also 1938, so But it's not like there weren't other good movies coming out at that same time. I do believe a little thing called Gone with the Wind was in that same era.
Are we calling that a good movie?
I'm calling that a very highly successful commercial movie. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And a beautiful movie.
Oh,
historiographically,
cinematographically, it's a work of high art.
Yeah. All right.
In a whole lot of other ways.
So tell me what they all had in common.
You have one character,
Yes.
who is the superego, the buttoned up, straight laced, straight man.
Yes.
And then you had a foil who was either ditzy or kind of a prototypical manic pixie dream girl.
Yes.
Kind of, which is a trope that comes later.
Yeah.
I mean, gets codified later.
It gets called the thing that it is.
It's
later.
called
Yes.
the thing that it is. So you have either manic pixie dream / nightmare girl, depending on the film, and you have straight laced, buttoned up, serious looking, like Clark Gable.
Yes.
You know, think about Clark Gable, Cary Grant, who I know also did a bunch of these kind of films.
Yeah.
They're very matinee idol looking, very, to look at him, it's like, that is a serious guy.
Yep.
And then they'd be playing off against Carol Lombard as the bubbly, kind of not all there blonde.
Good. So in terms that you've used before, Apollonian versus Dionysian.
Okay, yes, this is true.
Another through line that we do quite often.
Frequently.
So, again, go to Ross and Rachel because I really want to go back to bringing up Baby.
Okay.
Ross is a paleontologist whose job is to order specimens.
Yes.
And, like, put them in order. And Rachel is chaos incarnate.
She's let's not put too fine a point on it.
Yeah.
She's a dumpster fire
Yes.
at the beginning. At the beginning of the series,
and throughout it. I mean,
this is
she
true.
wrecks his second wedding.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
Yes.
Particularly in the first. I mean, because my wife watched all the way through the series last year. And her very introduction is she is a complete wreck.
Yes.
And okay.
So
all right.
I bring that up because I'm bringing up Baby. What's his face? Cary Grant is a paleontologist.
Really?
And Katharine Hepburn is a rich daddy's girl.
Socialite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So samesies.
Huh.
Yeah. So, Screwball Comedy, it gets named this because that there was a review of a Carol Lombard movie called My Man Godfrey in 1936. Okay. Originally, it was a term used to describe, like I said, a type of bounce in cricket that had an odd trajectory that didn't allow the person wielding the cricket bat to make contact with the ball. American baseball, it's the pitch that goes against its natural curve, giving it a less predictable trajectory. Further, to have a screw loose is to act in eccentric ways, right?
To be an oddball.
Yes. To act screwy, which could also mean drunk.
Okay.
Which in the 1930s, we'd just gotten back on the sauce.
Right.
Well, we'd just
gotten legally back on the sauce.
Right.
Let's be honest.
In later Bugs Bunny cartoons, if a character was acting crazy, he would often hold up a sign with a screw next to a ball.
Right. Okay.
Even in the early 2000s, the mayor held up just such a sign in South Park.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So let's see how well you did on the test. The basic formula is this. A man is typically very uptight in some way.
Okay.
He represents order, doing things the right way. Apollo. He meets a woman. She's usually smart, but goofy as all hell.
Okay.
She lives in her own little world and draws him out of his and into hers. So she doesn't infect his world. She drags him out of his.
Okay.
She's zany and she can give better than she gets.
Okay.
So far, I'm in love.
Yeah. Really? Okay. Let's be honest. As somebody with a Y chromosome who is attracted to women,
yes,
it would really be hard for you not to.
I've known people who prefer people dumber than them.
Okay.
And who prefer quiescence or tacit.
All right. Every dude I've ever known, like or hung out with, like all of my certainly my circle of friends, that archetype is one that that lights a lot of stuff up.
Oh, it does.
That's a thing.
So she's Dionysus.
Okay. She's okay.
Obviously, through her wackiness, he learns to let go, and she ends up turning his world upside down. There's your
manic pixie dream girl.
Exactly. Much to the detriment of his plans and his life.
Yeah.
But it's also to the betterment of his life. And they end up romantically linked at the end, despite his persistent frustration and his resistance through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Often he's in a higher social class than she is, too. I just keep coming back to Ross and Rachel for that, you know? and she humbles him and his stodgy ass assumptions.
Okay. So, just throwing a title out.
Sure.
Sabrina. Would this qualify?
I think so. Except that the younger brother is also kind of the Dynasty agent.
Okay.
But yes, I think there are aspects of it, and that's the thing is that you can take this and then
there's variations like with any kind of genre. There's sub examples.
Yeah. So she's Manic Pixie Dream Girl dialed up to 11, right?
Okay, yeah.
The main attraction to Screwball Comedy is that it makes a farce of the boy meets girl love story.
Okay.
So the boy in Screwball Comedy is usually rich, has tons of leisure time, no political motivations. That's important. He's in a stage of suspended adolescence. Okay. Often he's just enjoying himself. He rarely has an on-screen job, and if he does, it's an elite job. It's not one where his hours are even going to get counted.
Yeah.
Key to Screwball, the boy is easily frustrated without fail.
Okay.
He walks
reactive
1% line, and anything beyond that 1%, he's fucked.
Okay.
His frustration is the impetus of Screwball Comedy as a genre. So Screwball Comedy is about male frustration at female agency.
Wow, way to take this and make it patriarchal and kind of unpleasant. Okay.
Yep. So
wow, we were having such a good night. Everyone was having such a lovely night. Okay.
So, and interestingly enough, that agency comes into play almost right away. His frustration is usually the girl, and she wants him, and initially he doesn't want her. He's either already engaged, he's focused on his career, he's something else.
Okay.
She's often very smart and typically mischievous, putting him into very embarrassing and frustrating situations throughout the movie. I don't know if you remember House Sitter, but Goldie Hawn made Steve Martin sing Tooralooraloora in front of everyone, and he hated singing. Mm-hmm. And it was a big emotional moment for him, too. Mm-hmm. She's nothing if not persistent, though. And coincidentally, she usually has just as much leisure time, lacking any on-screen job.
Okay.
Part of it's the time, but also part of it is this is a class thing. Now, without their abundance of leisure time, neither of them would have time to take part in this farcical courtship.
Yeah.
They just got shit to do.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to have a Screwball relationship in my life.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that shit. Which I guess makes me more susceptible, except that nobody else has time for that shit either.
Yeah, nobody.
It's the gig economy.
Anymore.
It ain't working. So, it's just that. So the cool thing is the story can take place anywhere. It doesn't have to be location specific. The variables in the story change with relative ease. It could be urban. It could be rural. It could be, in Martha's Vineyard, like you said, with Sabrina. Really rich people out in the country. It could be any number of places.
Yeah.
Just as long as his and her main attributes remain in some way, as I'd previously mentioned, right?
Okay.
So just about
as long as the archetype is in place, you can fiddle with details.
Go anywhere.
Okay.
Just about anything can happen with the story as well, as long as the focus remains on her pursuit of him and his frustration with the whole situation.
Okay.
In the end, like all happy romances, the boy and the girl finally wind up together, right?
Yeah.
Though there is frequently something that frustrates him, making the audience laugh right before the credits start rolling. Screwball, to the very end, these films keep the male frustrated throughout the entire picture. Female is completely at ease in such a screwy world. Mm-hmm. Again, think about what that means sexually.
Okay.
Hey, Geek Nation, it's Damian.
And Ed, and we're here to pitch a book at you. It's from a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show, Bishop O'Connell. The books are the American Fairy Tale Trilogy, The Stolen, The Forgotten, The Return. If you're a fan of urban fantasy, you're going to love these. If you're a fan of Celtic folklore, you're going to love these even more. They're very well researched in terms of the stories and everything that they tie into. And he's a very good guy, and like I said, a good friend of the show. So go out, pick them up, read them, and now back to us being smart Alex. And
we're back. God, that was a fun ad.
That was
So fun, I couldn't even get into the introduction. I had to jump right to it.
Had to jump right to it.
It's the Hays Code. I blame the Hays Code. There's no foreplay allowed.
You can kind of blame the Hays Code for everything, and we do.
Yes.
One thing you can't blame the Hays Code for, however, is our love of shilling just about anything.
Yes.
Anybody wants us to pitch for them here on the show. We really like making a living.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah.
I could feed my kids meat.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So back to the show. In the 1930s, comedy shifts from a certain kind called Cracker Barrel. It's never a word I've been able to say.
Okay.
Cracker Barrel comedy to Screwball comedy. So,
okay.
Cracker Barrel comedy had been the ascendant form as talkies came up. It's Will Rogers.
Okay,
and
taken from the idea of cracking jokes out on the front stoop of the general store. Okay, playing checkers on top of the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, now he's the pilot of it.
Okay,
forgive the pun. Essentially, he's a good-humored and simple, bucolic fellow. Pun laden.
Yep.
Kindly, clever, and
I am not a member of any organized political party. I am a Democrat.
Right. Most importantly, he's ordinary.
Yeah.
Regular
guy.
Yep. You laugh at those who take themselves too seriously.
Yep.
But never with any malice. Down home, salt of the earth, Oklahoma, and always with a southern accent. So think Andy Griffith.
That's true. Okay.
The one I think of all the time is Hee Haw.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
That was one of the first genres to take advantage of the talkie. It was Cracker Barrel comedy. But Rogers dies in 1935 in an aviation accent.
Yeah.
And the genre pretty much dies with him. So
okay.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
It's kind of like
he was that central to the form.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think anybody else had gotten their feet under them to do it better.
Okay.
Or nuance it. And when he died, it went away.
Yeah. All right.
Now, it might have already been on its way out, to be perfectly honest, because Screwball Comedy is ascendant at this time. It's the mid-1930s, so I don't know if you know what's going on historically in the mid-1930s.
Well, I know we're in the middle of the Great Depression.
Yep.
Europe is starting to fall into an economic pit at that point. Runaway inflation.
Yep.
So the worldwide situation is going down the crapper.
Yeah, and people being clever is just kind of out of touch.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Yeah.
And people's problems are complex.
Yeah.
And not simple anymore. Mm-hmm. Their needs are basic, but also unmet.
Yeah.
And their suffering is not particularly funny. Cracker Barrel comedy doesn't relieve tension for them. Screwball Comedy does.
Okay, because it's about a protagonist who is continually and constantly frustrated.
Right.
But it all turns out well in the end.
Right. Okay. So it gives you that release and that
reassurance.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he's trying to make order out of chaos.
Yes.
And that's
which is what everybody was trying to. That was the hustle everybody was trying to do.
Yeah. And it made fun of rich people. That's nice to do.
Good point. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
It also
kind of comforting.
Hinted at sex, which was largely a free activity.
Good point. All right.
It was also a way for people to laugh at the frustration without feeling the frustration.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a way to do so relatively cheaply because movies were still very affordable even during the Depression.
Yeah.
Movie genres, by and large, have relatively short lifespans as it is, actually. But they also are cyclical. They will reappear after a genre or two.
Yeah.
There's a few exceptions that stand out. Westerns and war movies.
Okay.
They had much larger, longer first runs.
Longer, yeah.
Yeah. So from the 30s through the 60s for both of them.
Yeah.
And it's probably due to the fact that America is involved in at least one major armed conflict or more, roughly from 41 to the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And then again, we have been since 2002.
Yeah. And we're seeing a resurgence of war movies.
Yeah.
Now that we've
with our
been
current
at
stamp
it for,
on it.
with a current era stamp on them. Yeah.
So in the mid-1990s, end of the world movies got very popular all of a sudden.
Yeah.
In 2008, superhero movies have been all the rage. And each one of those has its own 9/11 moment.
That's a good point.
Every single one has a 9/11 in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Son of a... All right.
Yeah. But that's the air we breathe.
That's the stamp on the national nervous system. So all right,
I like
makes
that.
sense. Yeah.
So prior to the talkie, comedy had previously been silent pictures.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, by necessity, most of it's sight gags. Right. Slipping on a banana peel, standing up in a carriage while going under a bridge.
Having a wall fall over on top of you, but you're standing where the window is located, so it just falls around you, leaving you bewildered. Mm-hmm. Buster Keaton.
Yeah, those were.
Form.
What were those called? I think those were called coffin takes.
Oh,
because if they didn't get it right the first time, he's in a coffin.
Yeah, he's a dead man. Yeah.
Interestingly, that one was fine. He did it by sight.
Yeah.
He just kind of looked, triangulated with his eyeballs. And
wow.
Pretty sure it's right here. He broke his neck in a different scene in the General. It's where the water rushes down and just knocks him to the ground, and that broke his neck. Someone's pants seam splitting. All of these are,
Yeah.
So moviegoers are watching humor and seeing that easily in pratfalls and other examples. But if you notice, most of those are also frustrating events.
Yeah.
And that's the extent of comedy in silent pictures because it has to be, right? So the talkie heightens expectations of plot and humor. Acting for movies was no longer just a purely physical talent. Like you said, people now had to have talent with their voice as well as their bodies. Humor becomes more vocal, plots become more sophisticated. Commensurate with that was the Hays Code restricting all the speech. On top of that, the Great Depression also sucked. So there's a huge cultural shift.
I love the way you managed to boil that down to just one word. The Great Depression sucked.
Yeah.
There's really no arguing with that particular point.
There's a huge cultural shift happening in the 30s. Stock market crash didn't just hurt the traders.
No.
Okay.
It wound up having knock-on effects that wound up, shuttering plants, closing companies down, leading to massive widespread unemployment.
Right.
And then there were the panics and the runs on the banks, which meant that
more banks are shuttering.
And people are when a bank shutters, everybody who didn't get all their money out before it did they lose everything that was in it when it happens. I mean, it's just
it's awful.
It's a mess.
Nowadays we monitor the banks much more closer and we just give them all the money.
Yeah.
A lot of innocent people, like you said, lost money through no fault of their own, or just because they picked a bad bank, or the only bank in town was a bad bank. At the same time, there was an emphasis on self-reliance and hard work.
Yeah.
Which is, frankly, toxic as shit, because if someone loses all their money and can't find a job, you're still not allowed to blame the people who did it.
Yeah.
It's bootstrap time, which is just terrible. So that's the excuse of the lazy man, to blame the bank.
Yeah.
Even though the banks totally did it. So the hard-working man trudges on and finds himself a job. No excuses. And if you can't find a job or you need to go on the dole, then that's a reflection of your character. That's what was going on. So there's a high degree of background noise of frustration. Yeah. And at the same time, there were these class issues that were at stake. That, for instance, never more than a third of all Americans were out of a job.
Okay.
That means 2/3 of the people were working, but they were at risk of losing their job.
Yeah.
Which means they now disdain and suspect those who don't have jobs because you're going to undercut me. And those who don't have jobs can see these people as a class enemy. And if nothing else, they can see them as someone to resent or make fun of, right?
Yeah.
So the screwball comedy shown in movies allows all these anxieties a little bit of release and for a couple hours at a time.
Yeah.
And then people aren't killing the rich and eating them.
Yeah.
If someone could laugh at their own frustrations or possibly at the people that they secretly hold responsible for all their problems, they would jump at the chance to do this. It rings especially true in comfortable rooms where they could also get the news for a fairly cheap price. You get to escape.
Yeah.
Since the characters are rich and the common moviegoer is not, it's easy to slip into this escapist fantasy for a couple hours. Frustration is the foot in the door for this kind of fantasy. If someone could feel frustrated like the person on the screen, then they could also feel leisurely and rich like the person on the screen. And if not, they could laugh at the person who had a lot of money and still couldn't keep his life in order. See, money won't solve it all. It just makes it all worse. So the Great Depression is screwball all day, every day.
Yeah.
Hundreds of movies for that genre. There's lots of farcical romance that breaks down social order. Laughter is at the heart of screwball comedy, right? Ultimately, people want to laugh, and frustration is getting easier and easier to laugh at as a result.
Yes.
Everyone gets it. Everyone has it. Everyone understands it. Your new comic hero is in a position where the audience can laugh at him, and he's stuck there. It's a very shrewd way to keep people from centering too much on their own anxieties. And it enables them to laugh at the frustrations of the upper class, too. It's this kind of Saturnalia type thing.
Okay.
Critics love them.
Really?
Yeah. Remember when I talked about It Happened One Night?
Yeah.
It won all 5 of the major Oscars that year. Picture, director, actor, actress, and screenplay.
Really?
Yeah.
It managed to beat the Comedy Ghetto rap. Mm-hmm. Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, the only other movies that ever did that?
Yeah.
Got a guess?
No.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh. Yeesh.
And Silence of the Lambs. Which itself is a screwball comedy,
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, clearly. I mean, roles are inverted.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
Like,
it's an
like
inversion.
we see modernly, it's an inversion.
It's really
because he's the source of chaos coming into her way too uptight life.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
oh my God, it could be a rom-com.
Yeah, well,
it's just an updated version of Overboard.
Yeah, in a really really ugly, dark.
There's got to be a trailer out there where somebody turned it into a rom-com.
Somewhere.
There's got to be.
I don't know if I want to find it.
I want to know right now. So I typed in Silence of the Lambs.
He searched it.
And it auto-filled romantic comedy.
Is that a good job, FBI agent? Get to travel around and stuff? Sometimes you do.
You know, we get a lot of detectives here, but I must say I can't ever remember one as attractive.
I graduated from QVA, doctor is not a charm school.
Clarice Starling wants nothing more than to make it at the FBI. But so
the impersonation of the usual voiceover is really good too.
Jobs come up, and I thought about you. Not a job, really, more of an interesting errand.
Who's the subject?
The psychiatrist Hannibal Lecter.
Now, her new assignment might be biting off more than she can chew.
Oh my God.
Young woman.
Dr. Lecter, my name is Clarice Starling. May I speak with you?
You know what you look like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube.
Perhaps you'd care to lend us your view on this questionnaire, sir.
He was looking for a way out.
All that detail just from memory, sir?
Memory agent starting is what I have instead of a view.
She was looking for a way in.
Tell me things. Not about this case, though. About yourself.
Are you hitting on me, Doctor?
Bars couldn't keep them apart.
He is coming into my hospital to conduct an interview, refusing to share information with me for the 3rd time.
People will say we're in love.
Maybe you can decide for yourself whether or not I'm qualified enough to do that.
Just do your job, but never forget what he is.
And what is that?
From celebrated author Thomas Harris.
Is hunting your career, isn't he? Apparently he likes you, and you like him too.
I never thought about it.
Your first lie to me, Clary.
Jodie Foster.
You fly back to school now, little Starling.
And Anthony Hopkins in the most romantic movie of the year.
Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
The Silence of the Lambs.
You mean this is like a clue from a real murder case? Cool.
Just ignore him. He's not a PhD.
Coming soon.
That
All right.
somebody had an awful lot of time on their hands.
But they did a good job.
They did. They put that together brilliantly. Now, just because they could, does that mean they should have?
Well, as a rom-com, it won all 5 of the main things.
As a rom-com.
So on the surface, they seem
God.
pretty far apart. I wonder if you could do that for Cuckoo's Nest.
It'd be a lot tougher.
Yeah.
It'd be, you'd have to really cherry pick. It'd be a lot more cuts.
But, honestly, they all do deal with the same thing.
That is true.
Order versus chaos and its malignant fucking outcroppings.
Yes.
So, prior to 1942, all the reviews of screwball comedies are very complimentary.
Really?
They regularly would forgive directors and writers their farcical and nonsensical movies, right? So, in 1934, Variety, looked at It Happened One Night.
Okay.
Here's what they said. One of those stories is that without a particular strong... I'm going to start that one again.
Okay.
One of those stories that, without a particularly strong plot, manages to come through in a big way due to the acting, dialogue, situations, and directing. In other words, the story has that intangible quality of charm which arises from a smooth blending of the various ingredients, difficult to analyze, impossible to designedly reproduce, just a happy accident. The story is thin and frequently illogical, but the action carries it along so fluently and amusingly that there's a small chance to take time out to argue with the plausibility. But the author would have been nowhere without the deft direction of Frank Capra and the spirited good humor acting of the stars and practically most of their support. Tonight proves two things. It happened one night, right? Proves two things. A clean story can be funnier than a dirty one, and the best way to do a bust story is to make them get out and walk. Chic.
Okay. All right. A clean story. What was that about a clean story?
Is a clean story, it can be funnier than a dirty one.
Okay.
And the best way to do a bust story is to make them get out and walk.
All right.
In 1938.
Interesting take.
Yeah.
All right. 38.
In 38, Bringing Up Baby. Which I said before, it aged better than it started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bringing Up Baby is constructed for maximum of laughs, with Ruggles and Catlett adding to the starring team's zany antics. So a couple supporters. There's little rhyme or reason to most of the action, but it's all highly palatable. Developments are placed by sizzling dialogue. Chief shortcoming is that it's too much time is consumed with the jail sequence. It diverts interest from the attempt to locate the missing pet, leopard, and pet dog. There's a pet leopard.
Baby. Yeah.
Prime reason for it, of course, is that it gives Miss Hepburn a chance to imitate a gun mole. Both Vernon Walker with his special effects and Russell Meddy's photography are well up to the elaborate production given the film. Where?
All right.
So, Screwball Comedy begins to fall after France falls in 1940.
Okay.
Reviews become much more critical of screwball comedies, slowly and gradually shifting screwball comedy into unpopularity. Several of them received favorable reviews still throughout the year 1941. And again, we're not at war yet, but we're at war.
But the shadows are looming.
Oh, boy, howdy.
Yeah.
The New York Times, they reviewed The Lady Eve, and it was listed as one of the 10 best films of the year, and it received several reviews praising its brilliance. Here's the review. A more charming or distinguished gem of nonsense has not occurred since it happened one night. Superlatives like that are dangerous, but superlatives like Lady Eve are much too rare for the careful weighing of words, and much too precious a boon in these grim and mirthless times.
Okay. So when one managed to rise far enough above the bar to provide that same level of escape from the grimness going on in the world outside, they're still getting the beneficial reviews, but more and more of them, people are now starting to have a more...
It's got to be good.
Cynical. I don't know if cynical is the right word, but...
I think they're tired of it.
Okay.
I think frustration doesn't play the same way that it did.
Okay.
Because you're not just frustrated with what's going on. It's becoming an existential threat.
Okay.
In San Francisco Chronicle, it got similar support, by the way, so it's bi-coastally approved of. Another movie from 1941 prior to Pearl Harbor that gets good reviews is something called Here Comes Mr. Jordan.
Okay.
You might remember it. Let's see if you remember it. The New York Times and the San Francisco Chronicle both applaud the film's theme. The film, above all others, shows best that any story can happen around a screwball theme.
Okay.
It's a dark movie prima facie, okay? An angel pulls a guy out of the body he's about to die in a little too early. He actually had the reflexes and ability to not die, so they need to give that guy's soul a mulligan. Does this sound familiar? What if I said the Los Angeles Rams?
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Richard Gere.
No, Warren Beatty.
Oh, you're right. Warren Beatty. I'm forgetting the title, but
1978?
Yeah.
Heaven Can Wait.
Heaven Can Wait, yeah.
Now, why I mention the plot and its praise is because it's released in August of 41. Okay, so even then, the war is on everybody's mind. In newsreels, it's everywhere. It's still... This comedy could hold up and be successful, and it deals with the themes of death and murder, weird-ass romance, and frustration. Okay. And it's still doing well.
Yeah.
You can take Screwball Comedy and plug it into anything that's happening.
A murder
It still
mystery.
works. Yeah.
You can make a murder mystery a Screwball Comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Now, prior to American involvement in the war, a great deal of pleasure could be found in watching Screwball Comedy. The Depression was winding down.
Yeah.
People could nostalgically look back on how frustrated they felt while still enjoying the frustrations of the characters on screen.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's getting harder to do. Maybe it was saturated. Maybe it's getting passé because people are looking to China and they're seeing a Japanese invasion. They're looking to Europe and seeing German aggression. Screwball Comedy ceases to be the outlet that it used to be.
Well, now it becomes frivolous.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a really good word because of another review we're going to hear later.
Okay.
People are gravitating toward other kinds of comedy, and not the least of which is slapstick again. However, slapstick never really went away either. It was just subsumed into Screwball as a part of Screwball.
Mm-hmm.
And as the war is ramping up, slapstick survives, Screwball doesn't. Screwball, like almost any other genre, doesn't die without one last great film, though. After Pearl Harbor was attacked on December 7th, 1941, Hell's a Poppin' debuted on the big screen.
Okay.
Previously, this film had enjoyed huge success on Broadway as a stage production, and from the theater reviews, it seems to have been the Rocky Horror Picture Show of its day.
Okay.
The audience had spiders thrown at it. Stooges were planted in there to interact with the play on cue. Frantic women ran in and out of it looking for a man named Oscar.
Okay. Dionysian taken to all the way to 11.
Yes.
All right.
Which I really like that you bring that up because I think to Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it's on its surface Dionysian, but it's entirely Apollonian. The audience interacts with the movie on cue.
This is true. And
in a scripted fashion. It's pro wrestling.
This is true. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Everything's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Another thing.
So,
or it's Japanese deathmatch wrestling.
Yes.
You know. The metaphor can be applied.
So they capitalized on the play. 3 months before the movie was released in San Francisco and New York, the reviewers were divided on the movie, but a majority of them leaned toward negative criticism of it. This is after
Pearl Harbor.
New York Times trashed the film in its review, naming it as one of the year's 10 worst films.
Really?
Now, it's entirely possible it was a genuinely bad movie. I haven't gotten to watch it. It also may not have translated well to the screen from the stage. That happens sometimes.
That definitely happens.
The Times says so in a not-so-nice way. They may have also been because New York had seen the play going for 3 years, and nobody wants to see it on the big screen because they're elitist and purist about it to begin with.
Yeah, well, critics.
You know? It would be like if they made a movie version of Into the Woods. I would be bitching that, I'm sorry, no, you don't have Bernadette Peters. You don't have my interest. Bernadette.
Yeah.
So,
I'm your wife.
Yeah. That's Carol Kane.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Bernadette
Peters.
She was in The Jerk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, all right. Sorry.
So it could be that the Times reviewers just might not have liked the movie, too.
Yeah, well.
Because here's what they said. Hell's a Poppin' is full of sudden noises. It's also... You never want to start that way.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, it tapers off from there. It's also chock full of an anarchic collection of unfunny gags. It's not only insane, it's labored. Theater goers coming out of the Rivoli yesterday were startled expressions on their faces. Once or twice the film becomes a little less painful. Ooh.
Ow.
As in the scene where the boys suddenly find themselves playing drawing room sequence against the background of whooping Redskins.
What?
It's 1941.
Okay.
Yeah, the humor in it is noisy, boorish, and often downright sadistic, and they like to apply the slapstick where it will cause someone to yell ouch, and ouch is the word for hell's a poppin'.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone got paid
per
word.
There are not any... Well, one, somebody got paid per word. Two, there is not a pulled punch anywhere in that. That's manful thwacks.
Yes.
On that dead equine. I mean, like...
yeah.
Wow.
Now it's also...
We get it. You didn't like it.
Yeah.
Man. Like, holy cow.
Yeah. And the play, remember, had gotten rave reviews.
Yeah, it got rave reviews, yeah.
I mean, it went on for 3 years, you know. Now, it's equally possible that concern over the war was taking hold of everybody. By the end of December, and certainly by the end of January, Americans are fully committed to avenging Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
Newspapers had full-page ads telling people to do just that. Hells a-Poppin' could not have come out at a worse time. People were not ready to laugh after such an attack, and you could actually see the same phenomenon after the attacks on the World Trade Center in September of 2001.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Most of Sacramento shut down that day.
Oh, yeah. Well, most of the country shut down. I mean, business just was not transacted. I was living in Seattle.
That's right.
At the
You're in
time,
Seattle.
And you'll remember. I want to say it was 2 weeks. Like the week after September, or the weekend of following September 11th, there was not a Saturday Night Live episode.
Right.
And when they came back 2 weeks later, they up front said, can we be funny?
Right.
And of course turned it into a joke by saying, well, why start now?
Right.
But it was a legitimate question. Like, is anybody in a headspace to want to laugh at anything yet?
Well, and they started with the musical act of Paul Simon playing the boxer.
Yeah.
Which is not a happy song.
No.
Sac State closed down for the day.
Yeah.
Game shops closed down for the day.
Everybody. Nobody could focus on getting anything done.
Yeah. It took about a week or two, like you said, for SNL to get back up and running. And it could be that Hells a-Poppin' suffered from the same combination of disinterest in laughing and the fact that the genre was waning.
Yeah.
It's not always one factor.
Kind of a 1-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the genre's wane was also largely due to the war that was now arising in the American mentality. By this time, war movies and westerns were shooting through the roof in the amount of ad space and the number of movies that were being made. Okay. So one way to measure genre's prevalence is look at the ads in the newspaper. Okay. At least at that time. Now it's
nowadays
different market.
Not so much.
Patriotic movies like Yankee Doodle Dandy and Eagle Squadron were on the rise. The demand for screwball comedy was declining at precisely the moment that the demand for patriotic and hero movies was rising. Frustration was not appreciated. Heroism, courage, and sacrifice were. A less fun-seeking mood was weaving its way into the American collective psyche. December 9th, 1942, Variety reported that, quote, U.S. soldiers disapprove of hilarity at home when they're at the front. Soldiers expressed the hope that there would be a sane observance of this New Year's commensurate with good taste.
Now, okay, how much of that is actually soldiers saying to reporters or writing in letters home that, well, we're out here, suffering, so try to keep it down, and how much of that is propaganda, or the publishing class, the literati, intelligentsia, whatever you want to call them, feeling themselves that when we're in the middle of all this, it is inappropriate, it is gluttonous, it is sinful for those of us who are home to be having a riotous time while our sons, our brothers, and everybody are off, in foxholes in Europe and the Pacific, or actually to be North Africa, and the Pacific at that point. I just something about that, and part of it is just the diction of a newspaper writer in 1942 is different from modern language.
Yep.
But it feels artificial to me a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with you. However, this is a trade publication for movies. This is Variety talking about it.
All right.
And on the same exact page, because I do love my research, on the same exact page, there was another article musing at the likelihood of the federal government declaring movies an essential business.
Oh, okay.
So they weren't coming down specifically on movies of any kind, but 1 year into the war, and American soldiers did, in fact, want people at home to chill out with the fun stuff a bit. Remember, there's also a lot of rationing going on. So it is part of that, too.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not discounting the idea that it is propaganda, but the movies were in on it then.
Yeah.
Because this is a trade pub.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody was in on it. And I'm not even necessarily trying to cast a negative light on the impulse behind it if it was propaganda. I'm just saying, I don't know. I think there's room for all of the above.
Yeah,
to be part of the answer.
I agree.
I
agree. So we have gone from the beginning of Screwball Comedy,
yes,
all the way up until Pearl Harbor, essentially.
Yeah.
And so what we're seeing is essentially the lifespan, and then you've got a few death rattles for the next few years.
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
Disappears.
It's completely gone.
Yeah.
And so the next episode will be very much about the decline of Screwball Comedies.
All right.
But for right now, what have you gleaned?
I think the thing, maybe it's not what I've gleaned, but the thought that sticks out is the trope of Manic Pixie Dream Girl is one that every mention of that trope that I've seen has been very modern. That it has referenced a set of movies since 1990, at least.
Oh yeah,
and that it's always been characterized as being this thing that's all these young screenwriters and comics from Harvard and the National Lampoon and all these guys all want to write these movies where this uptight nerdy guy has this crazy girl show up in his life and teaches him this important life lesson. And it's like, no, turns out it's actually a lot older than that. It just had a different set of, the coding of it was different. And that's something I'm going to ruminate on going forward. How about you at this point?
Well, it's funny. I'm playing with a little bit of home field advantage. I actually, to get my undergrad degree, I had to do a seminar and a writing course. And you had to write a very large research paper, and I chose to research Screwball Comedy.
Okay.
And because it was so fascinating to me that something was so hot and it burned out so quick. And I wanted to know why, and of course, contextualizing it. I do, as I was going through it, it was interesting just, in terms of what you and I have discussed before and how much this does fit with that as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, it's one of those, I don't know if we're drawn to it because of our personalities or if our personalities
have somehow been shaped by this being part of the background.
Right.
The whole pattern on the wallpaper.
Yep, exactly.
Thing. Another through line.
Another through line.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I did like that. Now we covered our books before, so I guess that's it for
the time being.
Yeah.
For this episode, that seems to be it. And for A Geek History of Time, I'm Ed Blaylock.
I'm Damian Harmony.
And until next time, keep rolling 20s.